From the latest assault allegations by his former girlfriend to a competitive playing field which is getting better every year, here's why Tiger Woods' career may finally be over. Well, he's been accused of sexual harassment by his ex-girlfriend, Erica Herman, and it's not looking good, folks. Herman's been a longtime girlfriend of the legendary golfer, and she accused Woods of pursuing a sexual relationship while she worked for him, and then forced her to sign a non-disclosure agreement. The story actually gets worse. Apparently, she had to sign the NDA, or she'd be fired from her job, as per the filing. Herman had been an employee of Woods at one of his restaurants in South Florida, the Woods Jupiter. Talk about being a horrible owner. Her attorney explained how her client had been exposed to different work conditions due to their sexual relationship, which he justified as harassment. Not to mention there was also an apparent scheme in play against Herman by Woods, where she'd been asked to pack up for a weekend getaway. Then, allegedly, she was driven to the airport to meet Woods, but instead reached there only to find out that she should seek out Woods' attorney. Unbelievable. Who even does that? Out of the blue, Woods' lawyer approached her and told her that she wasn't going on any vacation and that she's been locked out of the house and wasn't allowed to return. But that's still not all. The legal document made some very serious accusations against the 15-time major champion. There were reports of Tiger strong-arming his former girlfriend into signing an NDA, which she refused to do so. And as a result, all that led to the way he tricked her into leaving the home, which she'd been sharing with Woods. And after locking her out, the pro golfer ensured that she can't return to her pets, personal possessions, and even her cash. That's honestly sick. All because she wouldn't agree to an NDA? And breaking up through a lawyer? Herman also revealed that she had an oral agreement with Woods to stay at his place for approximately 5 more years. And now she's claiming north of $30 million in damages after being locked out of the home and violating their agreement. Given his many past controversies with his partners, this does not paint Woods in a good light at all, and he's already come under fire from fans. Ultimately, the longer this case runs, the more the chances are of his career reaching an ugly end as well. After all, his personal life has taken a beating way too many times, and this one isn't any different. But it really was supposed to be. You see, after a very turbulent period of his life, Woods had finally settled down with Herman, and she became a long-term companion for him along with his 2 children. Things seemed like they were going great, but Woods probably feared that all this could still end in an ugly manner, and that's why he wanted her to sign an NDA, in the hope to protect himself from a tell-all situation should things turn ugly. But Herman was very different to some of the other women that Woods had dated previously. From world-class skiers like Lindsey Vonn to Herman, who brought a very girl-next-door vibe to their relationship. She's not famous nor flashy. Herman often took Woods' children to events, and was clearly very close to them and to the other members of Woods' family too. But that's the thing about relationships. You never really know what's going on behind closed doors. Of course, further information will come to light about their relationship, but all we know for now is they've broken up and things ended in the worst way possible. And all this has had a huge impact on Tiger's career as well. From a pure golfing perspective, fans really wanted to see Tiger, at least attempt to revive his career. Now, though, that doesn't seem like a realistic possibility, because more than just the controversies he's been caught up in, there's also the fact that Woods isn't on the same level he once was. Yeah, let's be realistic. Woods' best days as a golfer are long behind him. Of course, a player like him with the kind of talent he possesses, there's always a chance for him to pull something magical out of his hat, but the consistency and the quality he once had is long gone. He's struggled to put together a decent run of results, and given his stature in the world of golf, Woods isn't someone who'd be forced to retire. It'll be done on his own terms, and that's the least the sporting world owes him for his services. But the end of his career is definitely near. Let's just say it wouldn't surprise anyone if news came out at any point in the near future that Woods has announced his retirement. So, it's a possibility at this point, and taking into account his personal troubles, it might be a better idea to focus on those issues. I mean, he could easily go into coaching. His son seems to be doing pretty well, and that could be one way of remaining attached to the sport too. And also, injuries have hindered his longevity. Tiger Woods is the most talented golfer the world has ever seen. Some can make a claim for being closer to him in terms of success, but based on talent alone, no one else comes close. Maybe Phil Mickelson, but even Lefty couldn't live with Woods during his peak. Unlike Tiger, though, Phil's had a lot of success in the latter end of his career. So, what went wrong for the Tiger? It's simple. Injuries. Countless injuries, that devastating accident, and the ankle, which will probably never recover completely. In many ways, it's a miracle that Woods took to the field in 2022 and 2023. I'm sure his fans cherish that. And it brought back many memories for everyone who's ever held a club in their hand. Every fan in the world, and maybe even the ones who didn't like Woods that much, held on to the hope that he might just put together a run with his injured ankle as well. But it just wasn't meant to be. Maybe the problem is that he scaled heights that no one had ever managed, and now, not getting to that very level is the reason no one is truly satisfied. Sooner or later, though, fans will have to accept that Woods won't be able to make it again, and his best is behind us. Plus, the landscape of golf is also changing. I'm sure everyone's familiar with LIV Golf's controversial entry to the sport, but it has truly shaken the sport, as most knew it. They wanted to make golf a product that would be easier for younger fans to consume too. Yet, in a way, golf has ended up losing some of its lifelong fans. Change is rarely welcomed in any sport, and golf is the same too. This changing landscape makes it harder for players to enjoy the same level of success they did once. And few have been more successful than Woods. So this new hybrid form of golf isn't exactly appealing to him either. In a way, Woods realizes that it's the right time to call it quits, or transition away from the sport in the most amicable way possible. I have to agree, and as sad as it sounds, it's the right way to go. Not that Woods hasn't gotten involved in the fight against LIV. He's been very outspoken in that regard, giving up millions to reject their advances. Though this change may not have attracted younger eyes to the sport, it has definitely allowed young golfers to join the frame. And that means the competition just keeps on getting tougher. And the playing field getting more competitive is also not a good sign for someone like Woods. No, Tiger has never shied away from competition. He's competed with the very best golfers of the 21st century, and he's wiped the floor with them. But the difference between Tiger getting old and someone less successful than him getting old is huge. Why? Because of Tiger's standards. Even at this age, they are a lot different to what they might be for some other players. He doesn't only want to take part in these tournaments, he wants to win. And if he's not successful anymore, then there's no point sticking around either. Take the examples of Roger Federer and Serena Williams. I know, it's a different sport, and they also had their fair share of injuries, but they're just not as good as they once were. So the minute the wins started drying up, they decided to call it a day. On top of that, golf has already seen a massive influx of immensely talented players. Jon Rahm is looking scary good. Rory McIlroy isn't the youngest, but he's still phenomenal. Scottie Scheffler is getting better day by day. Will Zalatoris, Cameron Smith, and Matt Fitzpatrick are great. Not to mention the lot from LIV Golf as well. So it shouldn't be a surprise that Woods is planning an exit strategy. Fact is, he might not have any other option. So from the playing field getting more competitive, to the latest assault allegations from his former girlfriend, here's why Tiger Woods' career may finally be over.